Hi everyone. Today we are sharing some information about environmental performance evaluation. Previously, we have shared the guidelines, methods of ISO 14031 and the perspective in ISO 14031. Today contents, we will continue sharing the benefits of ISO 14031. How does ISO 14031 work? Indicator of ISO 14031, how company measure? And lastly, short quiz. There are 4 types of benefits. First, organizations can harmonize and streamline significant performance indicators in sectors, assisting benchmarking. Second, stronger environmental performance gives greater assurance to stakeholders and can increase both credibility and reputation. Third, improved identification and understanding environmental aspects and impacts. And lastly, the use of indicators can help identify processes to support the more efficient use of resources. Next, what ISO 14031 include? It provides robust and repeatable process to compare past and present environmental performance using KPIs. Also, it helps to determine trend, evaluate risk and identify strategic objective. ISO 14031 sets 3 indicators which are Environmental Condition Indicator, ECI, Operational Performance Indicator, OPI, Management Performance Indicators, MPI. The ECI is presenting achievements in context. Also, assesses the local, regional, national, or worldwide effects of an organization's operations, goods, and services on the environment. The OPI is to demonstrate change in resource use, human resources issues, compliance with policies and auditing procedures, policy developments and challenges, such as the efficacy of senior staff's commitment to environmental management. While the MPI is showing cost savings and improvements in training, inputs, energy, material, contractor services, throughputs, design, material use, process equipment, output, process emission, emission to air, water, noise, etc. How does company measure? Identify environmental aspects and related impacts and determine which are significant. Set criteria for its environmental performance and track progress towards objectives and targets. Benchmark performance more easily. Assess the effectiveness and potential of environmental management initiatives and projects. Identify interrelationships of different management functions and environmental performance. Communicate more effectively with tangible data. Produce information for stakeholders that relates directly to their concerns and requirements. Focus on root causes and risk analysis and identifying areas for action. Regularly provide information to support any review process. Now let's us refresh what we have learned with some quiz. The question is, choose one benefit of environmental performance evaluation. You have 3 seconds to think. The answer is improve identification and understanding of environmental aspect and impact. That's all for this section. Thank you.
Selecting Environmental Condition Indicator, which is ECI. It refers to these activities, operations, products, and services that might interact or have an impact on the quality of the natural environment, such as air emissions on the regional air quality, water emissions on waterways in the vicinity of a production site, or those that can cause a nuisance to local residential areas, and activities that likely to degrade land and soil condition.
Now I would like to share about environmental performance evaluation approach, which is plan, do, check, and act. On the screen now is a EPE approach that consists of plan, do, check, and act. The first phase is plan, which is establish objective and draft your plan. The second phase is do, which is implement your plan within a structure management framework. The third phase is check, which is you measure and monitor your actual results against your plan objective. And the last one is act, which is you correct and improve your plan to meet and exceed your plan result. In conclusion, PDCA cycle help to improve internal business procedure and help in removing common errors. That's all from me. Thank you.
So, what is EPE plan? EPE plan which is provide a robust and repeatable process to compare past and present environmental performance using KPI. It is also that help organization to determine trends, evaluate risk, and identify strategic objective and targets. The element that EPE plan use, which is the first one, KPI. KPI convert relevant data and information to influence the environmental performance for its operation or the condition of the environment. The second one, which is the choice of indicators. Choice for indicator for EPE will determine what data we will use. So the third one, applying EPE without environmental management system. All organization as EPE or should plan EPE in conjunction with setting of its environmental performance goal. The last one, which is the select relevant indicators, which is to evaluate environmental performance and reflect the nature and scale of environmental effects.
Okay, next is EPE process. The EPE of the organization and its result must be reviewed periodically in order to identify possibilities for improvement. So this review can contribute to the action of the management, to improvement in managing and operating the organization, and to improvement of environmental condition. So there I have several phases in reviewing the EPE, and its result can include reviewing of achieving effectiveness of environmental protection and its cost, advancements in achieving criteria of environmental protection. Next is appropriateness of criteria of environmental protection. Next, source of data, method for collection of data, and quality of data. Next is appropriateness of selected environmental performance indicator. So once you have all this information, you can start improving your system through corrective and preventive action. That's all from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
In EPE ISO 14013 clauses, the first clauses is the general overview. It consists of scope, function, benefits, and indicator. Code gives guidance on the design and use of EPE within an organization. For the function, it is to assess environmental performance and keep track on how well the EMS is functioning, including whether agreed aims and objectives are being met. And one of the benefits, it is to improve identification and understanding of environmental aspects and impacts. And the use of the indicator is to determine and evaluate risk, objectives, and targets.
The next is planning of environmental performance evaluation. Introduction of environmental performance evaluation plan. First is key performance indicator. Second is select relevant indicators. Third is choice of indicators. The last is applying EPE with or without environmental management system (EMS). Four characteristic type of indicators. First is selecting environmental condition indicator. Second is understanding relationship between different measure of performance. Third is selecting management performance indicator. Next is selecting operation performance indicator, and the last is selecting sector-specific operational performance indicator for comparison. Steps for using data and information for environmental performance evaluation. There is inputs and outputs. Okay. The first one is collecting data. The inputs is sources of data. Next, analyzing and converting data. The input is data analysis consideration and techniques. Next, assessing information. The input is environmental performance criteria for comparison. And for the results, reporting and communicating. There is an internal factor, which is the employees and contractors, while the external factor is interested parties.